Legendary quarterback Tom Brady reminded Patriots fans just how good he is during his return to New England. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers defeated the Pats 19-17 last night. It marked Brady's first trip back to Gillette Stadium since he left the team in free agency last year. During the first quarter, Brady broke the NFL record for career passing yards. To break down Brady's return and some other highlights from Week 4, let's bring in Will Brinson. He is a senior NFL writer for CBS Sports. Will, I mean, the notion that Tom Brady would return to Gillette Stadium in another uniform besides a Pats uniform and then proceed to break another NFL record is just so Tom Brady.
Football, I usually make sure to get up to my office. I like to get my family in bed, make sure I get up there in time to see the kickoff and everything. And so I was like, listen, honey, I know we haven't seen you all day, but I have to go early to watch more football because Tom Brady is coming back to Foxborough. It was wild to see. The fans were chanting, Brady, 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 as he comes out. And then the second that the game starts, they start booing Brady mercilessly. And it was perfect, too, because, it was nasty weather. It was a sloppy win. Brady wasn't that effective. It wasn't not diva Brady, but, it wasn't 44-year-old, looking fresh, slinging the ball around Tom Brady. It's like a throwback to Tom Brady's original days in Foxborough when you just found a way to win no matter what. And I know that had to eat at Bill Belichick. Although, as short as the hug was at midfield between Belichick and Brady, afterwards Belichick did find him in the Tampa Bay visitors' locker room, and they had a 20-minute talk before Tom Brady came out to do his media availability.
So staying in the Northeast, both, sorry, did you want to jump in there, Vlad?
I was just going to say, I did see a picture or some video of Brady and Belichick hugging at the end of the game. And somebody said, I think it was on social media, this looks like the kind of hug you give to your ex. Like after you haven't seen your ex in a while, you do one of those, yeah, good to see you.
Pretend like you don't care. Yeah. Pretend like your feelings aren't hurt.
Exactly.
All right. So, like I was saying, staying in the Northeast, both the New York Giants and the Jets got their first wins of the season. Which team do you think is likely to be able to build off this momentum and maybe turn one win into a streak?
Probably neither one of them. But if you had to pick one, it's the Giants. Mm-hmm. Look, the Jets gave it all for Robert Saleh. You got to give him credit. And this is the thing about the NFL. People start throwing up odds for 0-17 seasons, and is this team ever going to win a game? Is this the worst team in NFL history? Even bad NFL teams stumble into a win or two. And you saw there's one play in particular. We see Zach Wilson up there, where the Jets had Corey Davis, former Titans player, revenge game for him, by the way, running down the field, and Zach Wilson motions go deeper, and takes another 2 steps to his right and just bombs a ball down the field, just an absolute frozen rope. And, it's that sort of thing where when you have a roster this bad with, you have a couple of blue chip players, but not many, you just want a little hope. And I think that the Jets hadn't had any of that through the first 3 weeks, and they got a little bit of it on Sunday. The Giants win is probably more impressive just because they went down to beat a better team in New Orleans, and they desperately needed it because people were starting to really get on Joe Judge's case about his situation. If you're picking a team that was actually going to make a run, it would be the Giants. Daniel Jones is having a pretty good third season. People love to give Daniel Jones flack for just various reasons, but he's actually playing probably the best football of his NFL career. And if you look in that division, while Dallas looks like they are a legitimate playoff contender with how much better their defense is playing and how good their offense is, this is a more winnable division than the AFC East is with the Buffalo Bills dominating.
So let me ask you about the Cardinals defeating the Los Angeles Rams, becoming the only 4-0 team in the NFL. They've been led by star quarterback Kyler Murray. So it's early, but potential MVP?
Yeah, absolutely. He should be the favorite. When we were going to bed last night at around 2 a.m. when we finished podcasting, I think we were looking at it, and Caesar still had it at plus 550. I think if you look at it now, it's probably adjusted where he's plus 200 to win MVP. He's the favorite. This is what everybody wanted Kyler to do last year, building on an incredible rookie season, but it was probably unfair of us to ask for that. And then he got hurt and suffered a shoulder injury. Now, in his third year, understanding this Cliff Kingsbury offense, starting to get more comfortable at the NFL level, playing really good football, and he's just so athletic. Like, you know, I think somebody figured out he looks like the road runner when he's running, you know, because he's got that big helmet, and you know, he's just like tiny little legs, like moving so fast. He's just a dynamic athlete who can put up the kind of stats that will make people want to vote for him for MVP. I will warn you. The last time the Cardinals started 4-0, 2012, they somehow finished 5-11. So let's not rush to judgment on a team that not a lengthy history of success, but they have enough talent on both sides of the ball where they should be in. They'll be in the playoff hunt up until the end. You know, with the Seahawks, 49ers, and Rams, you know, along with the undefeated Cardinals, this is going to be a division that's going to be like a bitter battle until Week 17, I would imagine.
The Carolina Panthers and the Denver Broncos, they sort of stumbled after a strong start to their season. What's the likelihood of these teams rebounding?
Well, I think both of these teams were probably always something closer to, you can't say 500 anymore, right? Like 8 and 9 teams or like 9-win teams. And don't get me wrong, they're both good teams. You know, Sam Darnold kept playing. He played very well against the Cowboys yesterday, a couple of mistakes. And Carolina's defense was all over Dallas. Got probably a job by the refs on a couple of calls, and then, you know, just it's tough to stop those Cowboys 24/7. With Denver, they lost Teddy Bridgewater to a concussion halfway through that game, and Drew Lock had to come in. It was clearly a step down, especially in terms of how they want to run their offense. But if you look at what Carolina and Denver did, I mean, and look, again, you get to 3-0, you're 3-0. You are what your record says you are. And wins are wins in the NFL. They're hard to get, but they beat up on some bad teams to start the season, and the expectation was life might get a little bit more difficult once the competition ramped up. Carolina and Denver still have some easier. Carolina still has some easier games left in the schedule over the next few weeks. Denver is going to start to play some of these division games. Raiders are undefeated going into Monday night tonight. The Chiefs are obviously fantastic, and the Chargers, 2-1 coming into Monday night, look like a really good team as well. So Denver has a big-time uphill battle to fight in that division. It's really more about just an elevation of competition than anything else, in my opinion.
Let me ask you about this. Well, former All-Pro cornerback Richard Sherman made his debut with Tampa Bay last night after he was charged with 5 misdemeanors, including 2 counts of domestic violence over the summer. This is something that we've seen time and time again in the NFL. You know, what's the latest on his legal troubles? And has the league at all answered any questions about why certain players like this one are able to play the game when they've had these legal troubles, these violations, against them?
Yeah, and Sherman's is Sherman's is a weird one. You know, he got very tired. I mean, it's just an odd scenario. It's an odd group of circumstances in the sense that he, I believe, you know, allegedly got very intoxicated and went to his in-laws' house and was like pounding on the door, and it's really an ugly scene. And he's never had anything like that pop up in his career before that. He has said since then that he is, he's seeking therapy. He's, looking to improve his mental health. And the NFL has said that they are monitoring the legal situation. Really what it boils down to, and it's the same sort of thing with Deshaun Watson, right, where it's tough. I'm not trying to give the NFL a free pass here at all, but they prefer to let the legal process play itself out. And the reason why, I go back to the Watson thing, right? Why he's not suspended, why he's not on the commissioner's exempt list, why he's inactive every single week, is that the NFL doesn't want to suspend people without criminal charges or suspend people just based on allegations. And I realize that there's two totally different cases with Sherman and Watson and what they've been accused of and what sort of evidence and who's involved from a criminal standpoint. But the league in general just prefers not to mess with disciplinary processes without players having criminal charges, because they believe it opens up a Pandora's box where if someone makes an allegation, anyone makes an allegation, or anyone files a civil lawsuit, the league would then have to step in and suspend any player regardless of whether or not that claim was viable. So I think that's kind of where you stand. It's it's kind of flimsy to stand behind, but that's what the league prefers to do.
All right, Will, thank you so much.
See you guys. Have a great day.